Hi, Ashley Goodchild from Soco Realty for your Perth rental market update. And things basically are still the same. We are finding that home opens have anywhere between sort of 5 and 20 people, some larger home opens happening as well. Quality of tenants is getting better, so that's really great to see. Properties are still leasing out within 1 to 2 home opens, which is good, but properties that have been overpriced will stay vacant for longer and become stale on the market as well. So it's really important that the pricing is right at the start. And I usually say to my clients that in the first 24 hours of marketing, just make sure that you get at least 5 to 10 inquiries on the property to know that you've priced it right. We are still seeing loads of investors over east coming on board. They are still driving the market. I'm not seeing local investors. I'm not seeing local investors who are intentionally buying properties to rent out. I'm seeing locals upgrade their own home, purchase a new property and then rent out their existing home, but still very few and far between as well. And that is what's happening in Perth.
It's Tara Bradbury from Active Agents in Hervey Bay. Today I'm here to give you the rental market update for the Hervey Bay region. We've seen significant growth within our area. We've seen properties where we've had lease renewals have rent increases anywhere from $10 right through to $100 per week. And that's obviously very dependent on the investor and what their needs are and the returns that they're looking for based on how they've structured their property. We've also seen in the vacant property side where we've been re-tenanting properties, again, the same level of increases anywhere from $10 right up to $100 a week in some cases. The reason for the significant growth is obviously the lower vacancy rate, where we're at 0.2, 0.4%. And a lot of our properties are still being leased off the market. We're tenant matching with current tenants that we're working with where their property has been sold and rehousing them, and still plenty of tenants that are moving into our region for opportunities that they've been able to secure with work as well. Overall, it's a great space for those that are current investors. It is challenging for investors to buy into our property market at the moment, given that there isn't a strong resemblance of a rental yield. The prices are still quite high and the sales market has pushed that up. But we do have quite a few current property owners that are looking at relocating for work, and they're also then putting their homes now on the rental market and seeing some really strong returns, which is fantastic. Traditionally, 3 years ago, we would have seen, as an example, a 4-bedroom home renting anywhere from $350 through to $400 per week. We're now seeing a standard 4, 2 and 2, being 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom and 2-car, renting anywhere from $500 through to $550 per week. And some of those properties are even as high as $600 to as high as $700, $750, depending on the inclusions that they have and the actual square meterage of the home. They may have a pool, they may have extra shed space as well. It is a really a perfect time to just keep an eye on the Hervey Bay market, because we are finding that there are a lot of changes and a lot of opportunity with the Toolbourne area now having train building being set up there, and there are 3 tenders that are in place for that at the moment. That project will be going ahead, which is fantastic, and we'll be servicing over the next couple of years up to 200 to 250 staff from day one, and that will continue to grow as that opportunity builds out there in Toolbourne, and that's only half an hour, 40 minutes from us. So that's my wrap up of what is happening in the Hervey Bay rental market today, and feel free to reach out to us if we can assist you any further if you're our investor here or you're looking in the area.
Hi, Tamika Smith here from Key2 Property. The rental market in Tassie is still going great. We are seeing that it is starting to settle, which is a really good thing for our tenants here. At the moment, our vacancy rate is still under 1%. It's just sitting below that, which is fantastic for our investors, and it's also showing a bit of reprieve for our tenants. We are finding that the inquiry level has dropped a little bit more to now around 20 to 30 inquiries per property, where earlier in the year we were seeing around 50 to 70. So it is quietening off, but there is still quite a lot of demand. Properties at the moment are taking about a week to lease from the moment they're looking at it to getting applications organised and getting approved. So turnaround times are still really great. Rental increases on existing properties and lease renewals are really solid, which is great. So we're seeing about 98% of our tenants renew their lease, which is fantastic. And on an average, we're seeing about a $30 a week increase, which is great. Existing tenants really want to stay put, home is home, and that's really great for our investors as well, which is fantastic. Overall, the rental market in Tassie, right across the state, is fantastic. There's really good quality of tenants looking. Vacancy rates are low, and the best thing is the sales market is really settled at the moment, which is great. So we are seeing properties getting back to about that 5% return, which is exactly where we want our investors to be looking at. So for any rental information in Tassie, certainly reach out. I'd love to talk to you.
Hi, I'm Corinne from Ray White Beanley, and we service the Logan and surrounds area. What we have noticed since especially the start of the year is the vacancy rate has actually dropped. We were sitting at 0.6% and we have come down to 0.4%. So we are seeing different numbers at open homes depending on the type of property. So we lease anything from 2-bedroom units up to 5 to 6 bedroom houses with price ranges from $350 to $700 a week. So in that, we're seeing average of 15 to 30 people through an open home. We recently did an open home for a 3-bedroom unit in Mount Warren Park, and we saw 38 groups through. Due to the price range, it was probably on the lower side for a 3-bedroom in the area because it was a unit instead of a freestanding house. So we are seeing that because people cannot obtain freestanding properties, they are then resulting into getting into the unit complexes as well if they can. So we are seeing 5-day turnaround between something going online and either a tenant physically moving into a property or having a lease agreement signed and a deposit paid. And we are seeing lease renewals also renewed for an extra $40 to $50 per week, again, depending on the owner's tenants and history of the property. So overall, the market is still very busy. Depending on the type of property is where we'll see different types of numbers come through. Applications range from 8 to 15 per property. And what we are seeing is that we have a lot of tenants coming into the office wanting, I guess, help or advice on how they can obtain a rental property. So we do have a database, and we also have an app, so a Ray White Beanley app, and we encourage all tenants to sign up to that app, which means that they also get first instance look at what we do have listed available for rent as well. So also on another note, there has been a few concerns of tenants in the area in regards to other tenants offering more rent or rent in advance. And what we are telling people and majority of our landlords is that it's not always about how much more they can pay or if they can pay rent in advance, is the quality of the application. So just because someone offers more rent doesn't mean that they're the best tenant for the property. So it all comes down to tenant history and also what their previous property manager has said and if they're more suitable for that property. So I definitely hope that gives tenants a little bit more peace of mind, is that landlords are still just looking for the best tenant for their home, especially within our office as well. So that is something that we do educate our new clients on. I have noticed an increase of investors wanting rental appraisals and coming into the market. So I do hope that results in more properties becoming available, especially for the families out there that are needing a home. Thanks, guys.
Hey there guys, it's Melissa Hickson here. I'm the Director of Prime Residential and we are based in the Western Corridor of Melbourne. So here is our 3-monthly update for what has been happening in the Melbourne rental market. The numbers coming through our properties have been really consistent, so we are finding that there is still a large number of people coming through our homes. Some properties are getting 8 to 10 inquiries that are coming through, or prospective renters coming through. Some properties are also getting a large number of inquiries come through, up to 30, 40 inquiries. There's actually a really big number for this area of Melbourne, so really good signs. Our vacancy rate is sitting at about 3.2%, so that's still a very consistent vacancy rate for the last sort of 6 months in our area, which is actually really good. The Melbourne inner city is obviously sitting a little bit higher, but definitely still people moving back to the inner city of Melbourne. So again, people coming here, people are travelling, people are moving back to Melbourne, so that is a really great signs. We're having on average sort of 4 to 5 people coming through our open homes. Some properties are getting a large number of groups through, others are not so many, but normally 4 to 5 groups is pretty consistent. We are coming out of the Melbourne summertime, so what we do tend to find is that the Melbourne rental market tends to die down as you head in towards the colder months. However, the numbers are still pretty consistent, so it's really great news. for people that are looking at obviously renting a property. There is quite a little bit to choose from. But also on the flip side, there's still definitely a high demand for owners, which is actually really, really good. We are seeing rental increases come through our properties, so anywhere between sort of $5 to $10 per week. Some owners are happy to leave the rental prices as is. Others are looking at a small increase, so $5 to $10 per week is normally what we're seeing, and that's pretty consistent with the Melbourne rental market as well. We are finding that a lot of our renters are extending our leases as well, so that's actually really good news. We're having a very large take-up rate of anywhere between sort of 75 to 80% of our rental renewals are extending their contracts, so that's also really, really great news. Overall, the rental market in Melbourne is performing really, really well. We are finding that yes, people are moving back to Melbourne, people are certainly moving back to the inner city of Melbourne, and also things are vibrant and happening down here. So really great signs, really, really strong market, really great news for our Melbourne investors who have obviously been hit so hard over the last couple of months and years. So really great thing that we're looking at turning everything around at the moment, and we're renting properties pretty consistently. Our days on market are sitting anywhere between sort of 7 to 10 days, pretty consistently across the board. The inner city is sitting a little bit higher than that, obviously. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Melissa Hickson from Prime Residential. Take care. Bye.
Hi everyone, my name's Rakaya. I am the Leasing Agent and Business Development Manager here at Locations Estate Agents in Gladstone, Queensland. Over the past month I have noticed that the market has slowed down ever so slightly for new listings. Despite this, we are still receiving upwards of 25 applications per property, as well as we are conducting around 3 to 4 inspections per week with around 6 to 9 people inspecting. I have noticed about 85% of these people are applying for the properties. So our current turnover rate is between 7 to 14 days, which is great for our owners. That way we can have someone in there ASAP getting the rent paid. Our current vacancy rate is sitting at about 0.6%. I believe it is so low because we are having a lot of lease renewals. They are going up around $10 to $20 for a period of 6 to 12 months, which is great for our owners knowing that they have that stable income for at least 6 to 12 months. I do think the market will hopefully stay a bit steady, although it is slightly inclining, every week. It is still very stable, and that's great for our owners, and hopefully it stays like that in the future. And over to the next person.